Hello, hello, my friends, and welcome to tonight's episode of the Strength of Thousands Adventure Path here on twitch.tv/tabletop rolls. Now, excuse me, but before I hand things off the mat to do introductions, a few announcements. Number one, we are down as Zoe and Aerith today. Zoe is working, Aerith is also working. They'll be back once things clear up for them a little bit. Shouldn't be too long. Then, other announcements include Bustly and as follows. Tomorrow night, other shows on the channel. Tomorrow night, they'll tell stories about this. I'm trying to beat Outward Without Dying. It's going well so far. Will Character 9 be the one to survive? Join us and find out. Then, Wednesday, League of Amazing Adventurers. Nimbus is going to have a very uncomfortable conversation with her mother. Nimbus is going to have an uncomfortable conversation with her number. Lynx is going to continue to have a wonderful relationship with their students, and we're going to end things off with a gay wedding.
I love to see it.
Are we doing that next session?
No, it'll probably be the Christmas special, but I just wanted to make a Drowsy Chaperone reference in today's opening.
You think I have a surprise for you all.
Yes.
Oh, I'm scared.
We're doing that for the Christmas special for League, so I almost said Elisandra Nimbus wedding, but that's going to be that hasn't gotten to that point yet.
No.
And I don't think that's going to be a 2-person wedding in the end with the way things are going.
I don't think it will be.
I don't think it is. I think it's going to
Nim
be
has 2 hands.
Nim has 2 hands, and Elisandra and Gwendolyn also have 2 hands, and they can just stand in a circle for all eternity, as far as I'm concerned.
It's going to be like a lovely trouble.
Yeah, stand in a circle.
We all love
Where's
a
your goggles?
beautiful triangle that works out for the better.
Well, that's assuming Nimbus makes it to the end of the campaign without. Well, go watch. Come see it on Wednesday. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, McKenna. Which one of our characters is actively dying?
Yours is actively dying. Nim just has the imminent threat of death over her head. She has a timer on it. Like, she knows when it's coming. I would argue that it's almost equally dire.
Then, speaking of equally dire, Friday night, the ending of our Genshin Impact short campaign. And then next week, we will probably either take that Friday off and just kind of relax a bit, or we might do our Session 0 live. One of those 2 things will happen.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. Then Saturdays...
Love to... Oh, I was going to say, I would love to set up some sort of document camera somehow. I don't know how I would do it, so I could, do art while we had our Session 0.
Oh, we could...
Have,
I could help you with that.
Yeah, that might be kind of fun.
That
I
could
don't
be
know.
fun.
I mean,
possibly art.
I did a session once where I had a camera pointed as I painted miniatures.
Yeah.
Oh, fun.
The lighting wasn't great, though.
That's fair. But then Saturday, Salt and Sorcery. Matt and I finished Dark Souls 3 this week. Maybe. Who knows? We'll find out. Then Sunday, we continue the Pokemon Nuzlocke. With the rule set that Matt says is too hard, but we only lost 2 Pokemon in the first gym this time.
Which run is this, Will?
This is 2.
Yeah.
This is my second attempt. The streamer gym leader killed me. Which,
Well, I can subscribe.
Yeah, like and subscribe. I
Is
murdered
that-
all your friends.
Is that irony if that happens while on stream?
Oh,
Is
it
that
was great.
something
I was
think that's
going-
actually
I think that's
that's just
foreshadowing.
tragic.
I was going
Oh,
I was
yeah.
going full RP too. So I was like, oh man, we collaborate and she doesn't even plug my channel. Grr.
Oh. Shut the
Thanks,
audacity.
Olin.
Yo, audacity.
Thank you for the raid, Solon.
Hello,
We're just getting
raid.
started.
Thank you.
But yeah,
Yeah,
so
excellent timing.
Pokemon stream on Sunday. I'm doing a Nuzlocke of Pokemon Scarlet. We just beat the first gym, so we have 4 encounters before the second gym, and then we have the second gym. And my plan is to get at least the second gym done next week, and maybe the first Titan. So yeah, come join us for that. Then, of course, every Monday is the Strength of Thousands AP. You're watching that right now. Speaking to the "You're watching that right now" crowd, Matt to you, Uwu.
Please stay.
I'm not sure I want to respond to that.
I promise we won't uwu the whole time. Please stay.
And thank you for the sub.
Wow. Prime one too, yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for the sub. But Matt, yes, enjoy the emotes for our league campaign.
I do like those emotes.
I'm very
They're
happy
cute.
with our emotes, and those are designed by Matt. But Matt, I'll let you do
Cute.
introductions.
Well, McKenna did the art. I just
It's a
formatted them.
collaboration.
It's a collab.
Yes, it's a collab.
Yeah,
like the whole channel is, really.
God, Urbanov X McKenna Ray art.
Sounds vaguely
Not in,
gothic.
not in a slash fic kind of way.
No, but like in a crossover way.
In a Wormwood X Dispel Dice kind of way.
Yeah,
Except,
yeah.
you know-
Let's clarify.
Except we actually get our product out. Anyway.
Oh.
Anywho,
My continual bad mouthing Wormwood aside. Matt,
I
go
do
ahead.
want one of those fancy tables one day, but anyway.
I'll make you one,
need it.
Matt.
Yes, so I am Matt. I'm the DM for this particular adventure path on the channel, the Strength of Thousands. Urbanoff, places on the internet, even more now that social medias are starting to pop up everywhere.
Oh, right. I apologize. Follow us as well now on Hive. Because we're on Hive, like the rest of Tabletop RPG Twitter. At Tabletop Rolls everywhere.
My
Anyway.
voice is out of sync with my audio.
That's a new thing.
That's a new one for you.
Well,
Because-
just don't look at me.
Yeah, that's just a Matt thing because that might be on your end.
It's very possible. There is a bug that sometimes happens with my computer where sometimes it'll skip a little bit. Usually I can sit by restarting the computer, but I'm not going to do it now. So just
Okay.
listen to the audio.
Just don't look at
I am
Matt.
not a corporeal being. Yeah. But yeah, we are playing the Strength of Thousands Adventure Path, where we take adventurers from students all the way up to teachers and who knows beyond. When last we left our group of adventurers, they had journeyed to the ruins of Bloodsalt. First, to check on a student who lives in a village nearby who had left the school quite abruptly. Turns out their home village had been attacked by some ne'er-do-wells, but no one was actually seriously hurt, and the village was undergoing repairs. So they diverted the students and the trip to the nearby ruins of Bloodsalt to do some academic research. They unfortunately found that the city was a little more dangerous than most school trips you would like, but they have steadily made their way through the ruins, dispatching horrible undead monsters and the like, and gathering a few artifacts here and there. But speaking of our adventurers, who might they be? McKenna, why don't you introduce yourself and your character?
Hello. I am McKenna Ray Tynan of McKenna Ray Art on all the socials, and I am playing Avi, the Nyctera Witch. Oh, and her familiar, Agate.
And speaking of familiars, companion creatures, Will, who are you and what team are you bringing tonight? What roster are you bringing? What level are
Tell us
they?
about your Pokemon.
At this point, I feel like I'm just like a Twitch bot, like a Twitch plays Pokemon, except Twitch plays Pathfinder, where I just have like 100 different things that's controlling me.
Where the chat has decided that you must adopt every animal that you come across.
Yeah.
Here's a skunk.
Oh, awesome! I can use that.
Baby
to say-
skunks are really cute.
Yeah, they are.
But yeah, Will, your
Very
character.
good for
Who
setting
is?
off pressure plates. I am playing Igora. A lore speaker, Igora to be precise. They are a Gripply summoner. I'm also playing their Eidolon Gamma, their beast companion from their druidic subclass, Choco, and I will be controlling Aerith and Ophelia this evening as well.
And joining us for the first time as an actual player tonight, I'm very excited to introduce Sarah. Sarah, please introduce yourself.
Hello, everybody. My name is Sarah Margaret. Today I will be playing. You can obviously see in the overlay, but who is this person in the overlay? We shall find out. I don't have any social media aside from my photography business, which you can see me on TikTok and Instagram at Big Red Cat Pictography. Other than that, I am here because I am a fan of tabletop RPGs and of this lovely channel. And I was happy when I was invited into this particular party. So, yay!
And we are super happy to have you. Chad, as a nice way to say hello, feel free to maybe throw them a hero point. But that is enough with the introductions. Will, you can probably roll that intro, which eventually will include Sarah.
God, I hope I pushed the right button.
Not even halfway through book 3 yet.
And we're back.
Hello, everyone, and we're back. When last we left our group of adventurers, they had managed to overcome the Bog Mummy amalgamation, which was sadly a bit more of a non-encounter than I hoped. It seemed like a cool possible thing, but the damn thing wasn't given the skills needed to get through a damn hole in the wall. But it's fine. It's all fine. It's fine. Just as a recap as well, after the bog amalgamation kind of crumbled to cinders from the 2 firewalls that were placed inside the little oven that it was trapped inside, you guys find that the bodies that made up the amalgamation seem to actually be wearing some stuff. They had some jewelry, which will need to be cleaned, worth around 55 gold pieces. But more interestingly, especially considering your whole purpose of being here, they seem to have a polished gold bracelet etched with draconic runes.
What does it say? What does it say? I read Draconic.
You read Draconic?
Yes.
That is good to know for tonight. It reads, Hatchery Attendant in flowing Draconic script.
Hatchery Attendant?
Yes, it is a Cloud Dragon rune bracelet. Yes.
Oh, so they might have been like a cloud dragon egg hatchery person. That's fun.
That or they just picked it up off the ground somewhere. You guys have found things sort of out of place all over the place.
I mean, still, it is fascinating to know that there was once a cloud dragon hatchery and that it had attendants.
This is a very good item, so I'm quickly going to run through this stuff. The bracelet is etched with esoteric symbols or words, always in Draconic, that indicate kinship with dragons. As many types of dragon rune bracelets exist, there are types of dragons. Though dragon rune bracelets associated with uncommon or rare dragons are rare. While wearing a dragon rune bracelet, you gain a +2 item bonus to diplomacy checks while interacting with dragons of the same type, so cloud dragons in this case. But also gain a +2 item bonus to saving throws against fear effects. You know, a lot of dragons have a built-in fear effect. It also has a free action activatable. You can cast bloodline spells from the Draconic bloodline, such as from the Sorcerer class or Sorcerer multi-class archetype. You can do this once a day, and you regain 1 focus point, which you can spend only to cast a Sorcerer's bloodline spell.
Dang.
So you really briefly and limitedly multi-class into a sorceress, a dragon bloodline sorcerer.
Interesting. Plus, that bonus to diplomacy is nothing to sniff at.
Yes, and I should specify too. It's also as the pendant's scale. So it's, I think, certain dragon, like there's more than one dragon type that shares like a scale type maybe. So not just necessarily cloud dragons, but that'll maybe not be relevant.
What's the name of the item again, Matt?
It is a It's specifically the normal item is a dragon rune bracelet, though this one is specified as a cloud dragon rune bracelet.
Okay.
Because, you guys have very, very much noticed a lot of cloud dragon associated stuff, and that is a part of the history that you know.
Well, that's worth money.
Interesting. Holy
Also-
smokes.
That's worth a lot of
I
money.
mean, I guess it's like 3 levels higher than we are right now. That's wild.
Yeah.
As you guys are kind of collecting yourself and looking at all this stuff and trying to suss out, the significance of it all, a couple of the students who were not in the group that always hangs back and kind of watches you guys from his distance don't sort of run up, but they kind of like power walk up a little bit. They're walking quickly, but not with a huge sense of urgency. And they want to tell you they need a discovery.
Oh.
They're a little. They admit this a little sheepishly. They were going out into the jungle, is the buddy system, to relieve themselves, and they found something. They found a sort of a small chasm, like a rent in the earth, and they were going to dismiss it just as a hole in the ground, but then they thought they saw something glowing deep down in it. And they realized, this is cool, and this is exactly the start of a young adult novel where they, go in to investigate down a hole and find some mystic power that only they can harness to save the world. But they also realized that it could be something that could eat them. So
Maybe
they
it's
decided-
a bird that is also a god. You guys saw it, right?
we will get to that, Sol, and you will see. But yeah, they think you should come take a look at this.
Okay, yeah, for sure. Has anyone done any sort of detect
Magic, and Avi is asking this as she's walking.
We did a brief one. There seemed to be a faint. It might be from too far away or something down the hole, but there was a faint aura of abjuration magic.
Oh,
Maybe some enchantment. It's a little hard to tell.
interesting. Okay. Yeah, she putter.
All right. You guys go a little bit out into the jungle. It's enough out that it probably wouldn't have been just visible from the camp or just walking by. But you do find there is a rent in the ground. It's kind of like a jagged hole, and it does look like small or medium creature could comfortably not, like you're not risk of getting stuck. Gamma and Choco might have a little bit of trouble getting down there. It is kind of tight. But you also do see, you don't need a perception check, it's visible enough. There is kind of a faint, almost kind of orangey golden glow somewhere down below.
Huh.
Can I do like a perception check with discern secrets?
Sure.
So that I might be able to figure out what this is. No, I will not. That is only a 17.
Well, that's actually enough to notice one thing.
Oh?
You're kind of looking down through this rent, and you notice that about 3/4 of the way down that you can see, it gets a little dark. It stops being just earth and rock, and there's actually some like stonework. You think this might be going through the top of an underground structure.
Hey, Gamma. Yeah, boss. Let's do the old lure. All right, boss. Gamma just like goes to the edge of the trench, opens up their mouth, and sticks out their tongue. Lets it go down.
He reports back that there's far enough down that his tongue goes. There's a pretty big space,
Oh,
maybe
okay.
like a room or something.
Wait, let's claw down Gamma's tongue and let's get in there, Avi.
I'll take the wall, thank you.
Give me a climbing would be, I guess, athletics check. Not going to be a
does it
hard one.
Have to be. Can it not be acrobatics?
I mean, if you want to, like parkour down rather than actually climb.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Do you know what, Matt?
Well, it's a 23. It's about as good as could be expected.
Yeah, you. I'm not going to say skitter. That sounds a little bug-like, but yeah, you get down pretty quick.
Give me 1 second.
Yeah. Who all is going down?
Igor going to go down. I'm just deciding what type of fae I need to turn into to have a fly speed. More
You probably the hole isn't really wide enough that unless you're planning to like just sort of hoof and hover down, you're not really going to be able to fly down.
Dryad. Sorry, and Linux. Do none of these fae forms have a fly speed?
I don't think at this level they will.
Oh, that's a shame.
Also, I think you're overthinking this, Will.
Matt, me and my -1 to strength, and my
Parkour.
me and my -1 to
Parkour.
athletic. I have a 2. I have dumped dex and strength on Igor and
Just
McKenna.
just do a pratfall. It'll be fun.
Yeah, do a pratfall and roll deception.
No, I'm going to blow a level 4 spell to go fae form. Just so that I can go into the fae form that gives me a acrobatics modifier of +16
All right, roll your acrobatics then.
instead.
16.
Also, I will just once again advocate for untrained improvisation.
Will, you make it down, no problem.
Cool.
So, what you guys you find something quite interesting down here. Not what you expected. You find yourself in, for lack of a better phrase, what appears to be a underground chapel.
Huh.
It has sort of like a structure to the room where there are steps leading up to what appears to be sort of like an altar. There once might have been like a banner or a tapestry on the wall, but it is like molded all to nothing now. It's like tattered nothing. And there usually would be no light in here, except in the center of the room, sort of halfway up the ways to the altar, appears to be at first glance a giant, glowing, ethereal egg.
Oh.
But it is somewhat transparent because inside, frozen in mid-step, Sarah, what would you describe your character looking like?
So the figure you see within this glowing egg is probably of a medium-sized build, slightly humanoid, except for the electric blue pallor to their skin and what seems to be 6 arms in mid-stride. They are dressed in what looks to be kind of roughly put together travel clothes with a dusty-looking white lab coat and a gray scarf around their neck. And if you look closer at their face, you see that they have 4 mirror black eyes and 2 little pincers out the sides of their mouth. Additionally, they have this slightly lighter blue wild hair just thrown up in a bun. Seems like it's almost halfway out of the bun. And the expression on their face is one of shit.
Yeah, and this is the only like source of illumination in the room currently. You do sort of notice that there is sort of like a shape in the stone floor, which now that your attention has been drawn to it by the giant egg floating over it, is that really looks like a not terribly well hidden trap of some kind, like a conspicuous stone circle in the middle of this cobblestone kind of floor, on the way up to this altar. Looking around the room, the only thing that else, before you do any sort of perception checks, the only thing you see is there does appear to be a kind of a stone doorway on the opposite end of the room. It is closed.
Huh. Just out on a limb here, is there anything written in Draconic anywhere around this room?
As a matter of fact, no. And the funny thing is, now that you guys are standing here looking around, the architecture in here is different. The stone is a different color. There's no dragon imagery of any kind. There does seem to be a weird reoccurring theme in a few places of just three upside down kind of long triangles.
I know that I have absolutely no reason to say this, but thanks, Kiara and Igora.
I don't think she's to blame for this.
I think anytime something strange happens, Avi, I'm just going to say thanks, Kiara.
I think that's highly unfair to Kiara.
Every time you do, she gets a level.
She's just an enigmatic person who sometimes appears in people's dreams and snaps their necks. It's not that big of a deal.
Oh,
It's
you've
just
had
not that
that
big of
one
a
too?
deal. Anyway, I guess I will just.
Think you can disarm it?
Well, let me see if I can't make some sort of knowledge check to recognize the...
Would you guys like to do just a general now actual like perception check of the room to look around?
Yeah, I'll do a general perception check with discern secrets, and then I'll discern some other secrets
Oh,
later.
29.
30.
All right.
Ooh. 30, yeah.
McKenna, what languages do you speak other than Draconic and Common?
Okay.
Get ready
I
for
got
the...
Common, Elven, Draconic, Sylvan, Celestial, Zomba, Undercommon, and Aklo.
Okay, I was hoping for one of those. Undercommon.
It's the wacko
So-
world of...
You find some very subtle script in the sort of inner part of this circle that's in the stone directly under the egg. And it says, interlopers must be born again to be free.
Oh no. What does that mean?
All right.
Welcome to the puzzle of the night.
I just open up my pack, take out my old cultist robes. Alrighty.
What? Igor,
What?
why are you putting on cultist robes?
Oh, because you just said this thing has to be born again in order. That sounds culty.
No. I think it's a puzzle. I think something about that is how we get this person out of the egg.
So no
Now,
blood.
Sarah, how much longer you have to wait till you get to join the adventure? It's now dependent on them.
And I
I'm going to sit here and sip my tea.
I
I
apologize.
apologize in advance, my love.
I was just about to ask you, Matt, am I unaware or do I have any awareness around the room? That's my question in this
You have
frozen state.
no awareness.
Cool,
Oh.
great. I will continue to be muted then.
It would be so
That's
funny.
unfortunate. Just the visual of her.
There's a
watching
reason
these
for
two-
it. I do apologize for your lack of participation, but there's going to be a payoff here.
No,
Just-
it's going to
just-
be glorious.
Just imagine, McKenna, if they could see... just imagine, Avi, if they could see us about to bumble around with this puzzle and fail spectacularly.
Well, I don't think we'll fail spectacularly. I'm quite optimistic about our chances here. Well, to be born again, would to break out of the egg, I would imagine in this scenario.
Okay? Some...
But I don't know that breaking into the egg from the outside would have the same effect.
Oh.
Is there anything else around this room, Matthew?
There is the altar at the far end of the room, like sort of as you imagine, a chapel. You would walk forward, and there'd be the altar.
Okay. Let's go to this altar.
And closer to the inspection of the altar, you guys want to give me another perception check to seriously examine this up close?
Sure.
Yeah.
Avi,
That's a 30.
you notice two things about this. It is styled in such a way that you almost realize that this is almost sort of like a lectern, like the kind of thing that someone would stand in front of and put a book down. It's shaped, it's slightly sloped to in the inside. But you do also notice there are a number of sort of protruding stone squares in sort of almost random places along it.
Are they buttons? Do they look like they would press?
It does look like they are sticking out kind of conspicuously, but the problem being they are written in some sort of runes or something. Like each one has like a single rune on the end of it, and it's in no language you recognize, and they're in sort of like random placements. There doesn't seem to be a pattern.
The runes maybe not be something I recognize. Would I know them to be a language, or would they be Igra, stop it.
Give me just a straight up intelligence check.
Oh, are you sure I can't put anything on that? Because that's just like a flat +4.
You know what? I let you give me Arcana.
Yeah, thank you.
26.
26.
There's something funny about these runes. They don't seem like any language you've seen before. Like, and you've seen a lot of language, even ones that you don't know how to read.
Yeah.
So unless this is a completely undiscovered, never before seen language, it's possible it may also be bullshit. It may be just random symbols meant to give the impression that it's a language, possibly. Or it could be a completely unknown language of the Gablork people.
Gablork people.
That's something your aunt said at one point, and you knew she was making it up.
Yes. Igra, I swear to my patron, you cannot just start pressing these buttons willy-nilly. You just can't.
This isn't willy-nilly. These buttons have symbols on them.
Do you know what they mean?
Yes.
What do they mean?
That one means glorpagorp.
Actually, it's pronounced gorpagorp, and no, it is not. No, it is not.
Behind you guys, Aerith is tapping the egg just very slightly.
I
It's like,
I could punch the egg.
oh, that's curious. It's giving off light. Ooh, it's cold.
Oh.
Oh, I wonder if it's frozen the person inside it. That's why they've remained, because it's possible they've been here for a very long time. I wonder if the egg has frozen them in like suspended animation of some kind.
Ah, chronomancy.
Oh, maybe.
Well, I don't know. It doesn't seem like that kind of magic.
Chronomancy or maybe coldomancy. It may
Cryomancy.
Just be, yeah. Sarah.
Sarah's just like, oh god, what have I signed up for?
At this altar,
Yes.
what I guess I could make a religion check. I would be better off making an occultism check, to see if I can't find out what or who they were worshipping down here.
Give me a cultism check.
Yes, please. 31.
So, this is kind of funny. You have learned something by the lack of information here. You have realized by the fact that there is very little sort of like worshipful imagery or mosaics or anything or symbols other than this possible bullshit runes. You think this might be a chapel of a mystery cult, who the primary thing mystery cults are obsessed with is keeping their secrets. So everything important to these kind of cults is passed on verbally or hidden in like sacred tomes that, you know, one person will chain to their arm for their entire lives or something. So it's very possible there's very little to be learned from the architecture of this room because that's how it's been designed in case it was ever found.
Avi does not relay this to Igora. Had to do something to wipe that look off his face.
I listen, I am not often correct about things, god damn it.
Unfortunately, I correct or no, I don't think it is going to help us solve this puzzle.
Well, listen, knowing that it's culty does help us solve this puzzle a little bit.
I don't know. I mean, born again could mean something along the lines of, like, maybe we would have had to say something at the altar. I also have to imagine if that egg was made with cryomancy, that maybe we might be able to melt it, and that might be a less obtrusive way of.
Yeah. I'm going to try something.
Will.
I'm going to go try
Oh.
something. I'm going to walk up to the egg.
Okay.
I'm going to punch the egg.
Okay.
All right. Give me an attack roll.
Whack. And then Matt, can you touch
Just
the middle of the
Igura
chat?
himself.
Yeah.
And not
Sorry?
Gamma.
I have a plus 12. I don't hit that hard, but I hit. Wow, I rolled really poorly on those 2d4.
Yeah. Well, the 17 isn't great either.
I mean, it's an egg. I'm just going to crack it. Ow. I do really
What does that
enjoy-
accomplish, Matt?
Sorry.
Oh, I said, what does that
Um,
accomplish, Matt?
Will,
Yeah.
you hit the thing off it easily, and
Yeah.
unfortunately, it seems to do no damage. It's like punching like a giant thing of ice.
All right. All right.
So you actually take 1 cold damage
Ow.
Mm.
That's fair.
just because you hit it hard enough.
Still in the triple
Um,
digits.
Will, quick question. I'm trying to think of this. To know things about dragons, for instance, is
Arcana.
that Arcana? Okay.
Dragons are.
Anyone who wants, feel free to give me an Arcana check right now.
Yes, please.
Sure, I'll do it with my -1 to intelligence.
26
That's all right.
and critical failure for Igura.
Because I'm giving you this, McKenna, because you mentioned something just a minute ago, and so turning away from the altar now, realizing there's probably nothing here to help us with this. You're kind of standing there thinking, and you remember something that you heard, and you're also realizing, despite the fact that there's no like dragon imagery in this room, this thing does resemble sort of a dragon egg. It's it's kind of holography. A dragon egg. It's kind of holography, but it sort of has like sort of the scales or the coloration looking like a dragon egg, and you realize
Yeah.
that must be intentional. And
Oh, for sure.
you remember that dragon eggs require very specific circumstances to hatch.
Okay.
Can I push buttons now, Avi?
No. I would like to use Pocket Library.
Hmm.
I have 2 uses of this. I would like to use one. I can use any skill in which I am at least trained that has the recall knowledge action to call for
None of you
the
are allowed to look at
tome-
chat.
To call forth a tome from the extra dimensional library. When attempting a recall knowledge check using that skill, it gives me a +1. It saves me from critical failures. And on a successful roll, I get extra information I want to know about various dragon.
Okay. Roll me another Arcana check then, with all the pluses you're getting.
Yeah, and I think I'll stack Discern Secrets on this too for a +2.
Big brain moment. Big brain moment.
Big brain moment. Big brain moment. That'll be a 30.
Ooh, woo.
Considering the egg it seems cold, you probably realize eggs need warmth to hatch.
Yes. Okay, which is kind of what I was gonna do anyway.
Yes.
Luckily, your girl prepared Produce Flame, which I would like to do slightly. It appears in the palm of my hand, is what the spell description reads. I'm just going to
Yep.
take my tiny little bat hands and put it like under the egg and I'm just gonna be here for a while.
All right, so you go up, you put your hands cupping this gentle flame to seek to kindle the flame. Dark Souls. And you're like, all right, setting down, getting ready for maybe a long wait. And suddenly there's a cracking sound.
Uh-oh.
And a glowing crack suddenly arcs up one side of the egg. and then another,
Well, that was
and then
fast.
another. And with a burst of golden light, Charlotte takes the step she was halfway finished through. Because you realized, Charlotte, in that moment coming into this chapel, this altar before you is the one you read about in that book you found in a dusty corner of the Magambia library, and you know the combination of the bullshit made-up languages on the buttons to open it to find the treasure beneath. And then, oh wait, you stepped on a trap, and oh, nope, guess not. And you come to, the room looks kind of different than it was a second ago, and something's warm in your butt.
Can you please get off of me?
Oh my god! I am so sorry. And I just like scramble off.
It's okay. It happens more often than you'd think.
Yes, if Avi Avi had a gold piece, so every time that's happened to Avi Avi in like the last few years, Avi would have 2 gold pieces, which isn't a lot. But it's strange that it's happened twice.
Oh,
I'm
There are a
Avi,
lot more
by the way.
people in this room than there were a second ago, Charlotte.
Oh, I should get out of the cultist robes. Here, give me a sec.
We're not cultists. I promise.
Well,
I'm not.
oh. Well, that's disappointing.
I mean,
Oh.
I was a cultist. I
That's
better.
less
He tries to backtrack. Oh, no, I was a cultist.
I was a cultist. I got better.
All right. Wow. All right. What just happened?
Maybe a better question is when just happened. No, I'm kidding. You might have been in that egg for a while. You were in and I think it was a trap of some sort. And you were frozen in some sort of cold dragon egg. But
Yeah.
we got you out. You're probably very hungry. Would you like something to eat?
And you now owe us your life.
No, she does not.
Damn.
Wow. All right. This is. Wait. Do I know you two?
Oh, I don't think so.
You guys have never run into each other at the Magambia.
I mean, we work for the Magambia now. We were students for a hot second, and then they kept sending us out on, like, this will probably kill you missions, and then now we're teachers, and we're not sending our students out.
You too.
Yeah.
Oh, I see now. That might explain it. My apologies. I am Professor Charlotte. I work in the toxicology department.
Oh.
Will and McKenna, give me a society check real quick.
No, this is about to be. You know what? I'm using discern secrets on this one too.
Oh. Discern Secrets is the new library lore.
Yes, it is. That's a 28.
Avi, you know that you heard about this, and I think you read it maybe on a plaque in the wall at one point. Professor Charlotte disappeared 6 years ago.
Oh, you have been gone for a while.
Have I?
I think it's been about 6 years.
6.
6. It could have.
Longest second of your life.
That's. I mean, 6 years is a lot, but sometimes with these types of traps, it could have been a lot longer.
Goodness.
Chat brings up an excellent point.
Wh-
We have a toxicology department, but not a nurse.
But not a nurse.
Oh, that's the important part. Like,
Yes,
you missed that. That's the important part.
I mean, they're really good at curing poisons. Not a broken
Don't ask me that. 6 years.
6
That's
years.
almost a quarter of my life.
Oh no!
Oh, no, I'm fine. I'll live another 40 or something. But the fact of the matter is no. Hold on. Let me backtrack here. I came here because I was given some information in regards to a situation with the... Wait. Cults!
Yes.
I'm here because of
Yeah.
cults.
You see the altar sitting at the other end of the room.
Ah! Charlotte just like shoves them both aside and just goes for the altar immediately. And
You immediately recall the combination you spent like a week learning of all the silly buttons.
Okay. And
Careful, all of
all
those
of her
runes are-
arms just come out, all 6 of them, and just start like
Oh.
combining numbers.
I just dead ass look at Avi. Oh, so they're allowed to push the buttons.
Well, maybe they know what they're doing. Do you?
Yes.
What were you going? What is your method?
Push buttons until things happen.
I think they have something more concrete than that.
Very quickly, Charlotte, you have pressed the right combinations of button, and there is a grinding sound of stone on stone under the altar. And then, on a completely hidden seam, it just splits in half to reveal a kind of a space underneath the altar. And in there seems to be something wrapped in what appears to be like maybe like dragon leather.
Oh.
Jackpot! I knew it. Oh, wait.
What did you know?
Smells like jerky.
Can I check to see if there's anything wrong with this thing?
Just give me a perception check if you're just looking for a general kind of looking around.
Yes. Any particular additional traps? Okay, this will be my first perception.
A
32.
very good first roll, a 32.
Mm.
You take a moment, you kind of like hover with all of your hands, all over sort of surfaces, kind of probing, looking around. You are almost sure this is absolutely safe now. You have pulled the secret from this thing.
Jackpot! And it just like pulls it up and looks at it, goes,
As you take it into your hands, though, it takes you a second to realize, but all the sound is gone in the room now. You turn around, and Avi, Aerith, Igora, all the others, they are now frozen in place. But a little more concerning than that, standing behind them at the far end of the room are 3 rail-thin figures, very tall, like twice the size of a normal person, completely veiled. One is holding in their hands, kind of cupping it, a kind of a veiled mask. Another is holding a stone dagger. And the third is holding a bottle of some green liquid. And the one with the bottle of green liquid turns its head slightly, just kind of tilts it. Their heads are kind of long and pointy too, under their hoods and their veils. Like, at long last, another has stepped upon the path. But which do you think this is, sisters? A lamb or a believer? We shall find out, I think. We'll see how long they can stay on the path. But first, perhaps, a test for them and their new friends. And a horrifyingly kind of thin hand kind of comes up, and they snap their fingers, and I need everyone to give me a fort save.
Another hand touches the beacon.
No! My hubris gets me again. This will be a recurring theme for Charlotte.
From a 19 to a 2.
All right, so that is everyone,
Wait a
I
second,
think.
I got 3 characters to roll for.
All right. So, yeah, okay. Everyone in the room is reduced to 1 hit point. As you feel like something burning clutch your hearts, and you all sort of like start coughing. But time restarts again. The figures are instantly gone. You are in the room now, and you are all just like, you feel like you've, eaten something or ingested something horrifying. And for those who have experienced this sort of thing in like combat against creatures and the like, you have just essentially got through a poisonous shock.
Oh.
Well, that's...
So did we all fail the fort save, or did we all somehow
Yes.
succeed?
You all
Oh,
failed.
fuck.
I rolled a 16.
Oh.
That's fine.
I rolled a 16.
All right, everyone, get around me. Come on, chop, chop.
Oh, I don't feel so good.
Yeah, get over
I
here.
haven't felt
Avi.
that since my freshman year.
Yep.
Oh,
Get
gross.
Get over here, wacky professor.
Oh,
Let's do this.
Coming.
Oh. What? Huh? Sorry? Oh. Of course. I mean, hold on. Before you do that, you jump. No touchy.
Oh no, I don't touch.
No. I need to, and I just, like, rifle into my bag. And then just, like, I need to take a sample of my blood. Hold on.
Oh, that might kill you right now. If you're as bad off as I am, that might literally kill you right now.
But I need to know. Is there some way I can test to see what type of poison?
You know well enough that just healing won't immediately flush any sort of poisons from your veins.
Oh, good. I can then stab myself. Excellent.
Yes. Do some healing, and then you can easily take a little sample of whatever that was.
Perfect.
I'm just going to burst, and then that will be 7 points of health to everyone. And then I will burst again. And that will be 4 points of health for everyone. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 points of health to everyone. So,
Yeah.
do that as you will.
And the room is now still and quiet.
All right, that should carry us over till we can get back upstairs and have Endures of Darkness patch us up.
Yes, we have a mushroom.
Upstairs.
Yeah.
Sorry,
He's not great at climbing.
It took me a second
That's
to remember their name.
wonderful, except I'm not, well, You see, I've been searching for this particular place for a long time, you see, and I kind of I just want to make sure I don't leave any stone unturned here, particularly considering I've been searching for this cult for a while. So, I mean,
any particular reason why you're looking for the cult? As a reformed cultist, I'm just curious.
Pure study.
Pure study?
They are a particularly, well, it might be easier if we get out of here first. I guess I do have the book and all, so that's perfectly fine for me.
Oh, you found a book?
Yes, the book
That's what
I've been
was Rem found
searching
out.
for.
Okay, well,
we can
gotta
read it together, maybe?
Yes, just maybe not in here.
No, of course not.
Too many traps.
We have a
Scary.
tongue rope. We have a tongue rope, so it's all good.
Oh, lovely, perfect.
I'm getting pretty dry, boss. Can I retract the tongue yet?
Oh, Gamma, I assumed you would retract your tongue until we called for you. Come on, think.
I wanted to make sure if you needed to make a speedy escape. How am I talking right now?
Well, well, I could climb up, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean,
Or I could walk up.
Can I hitch
Yeah,
a
anyone who
ride?
wants to use the tongue rope gets up perfectly without a roll.
Avi,
I'm
if
not
you-
squeamish about a tongue. You just see her just like and start like slowly with the book in one of her arms, just like.
Gamma, I know they look tasty. Don't eat our new friend. Okay, boss.
Well, if I parkour it, can I just
Avi, I will
again?
carry you up.
Sure.
Just ride on my back.
She like
It's a
bat
38.
hops from wall to wall to wall to wall.
She kind of just is a little like bat skittering. I feel like climbing is a pretty apropos for.
You also
like,
don't weigh a lot.
No.
Yeah, so you guys return to the top of the stairs, and I'm also going to say Endures in Darkness is waiting there, a little mushroom with his little staff. And you do notice the staff, the silver medallion, still not tarnished, so to speak, so there is no gas. And he heals you guys right up. And if you want, you can very easily do a quick little sample of your blood. And you do note that it's not the right color when you draw it out, so there's still something in there, a little.
Ooh.
Is that what your blood is supposed to look like?
No.
No, it is not. Let me see. Well, I can test it. Let me see if I can test it. Let me see.
You could do a medicine check. Admittedly, this kind of work would either be medicine or crafting, though you don't exactly have the greatest facilities here.
That's true.
You don't have your nice lab with all your beakers and Erlenmeyer flasks and Bunsen burners.
Or in this version of the world, urban oven flasks. I don't know.
Yes.
You
So I
worked
Kinda
so
stumbled the
hard
landing
for
there.
that.
I did.
Ooh,
Urban
it's
oven
fine.
flasks.
I think essentially it's the I'm gonna take the nice draw of blood with what I have, and kind of just like secure it and
Yeah, you
put
have
it
like
back in my bag.
a nice big satchel pack.
Yeah, for all the preparing stuffs, and I'm just like, all right, well, I can't test this here, which is a problem.
Yes, especially since your like camping bag and all your like real traveling supplies nowhere to be found. It's possible they turned to dust or, scraps sitting on the floor in that chapel while you were frozen. So you don't have any supplies.
Oh.
In all likelihood, I would absolutely love to explain things to you about my research and why I'm, was there and what this particular thing is. And she like gestures to the book in her arms.
Yes, please.
However,
Oh.
I would really like a shower.
Yes.
Prestidigitation, you're clean.
A dry clean, but clean.
Oh. Right. that was
Magic.
so simple. I forgot. That's something that people
magic
do.
exists.
That's absolutely true. The fact of the matter is that I was there for a research project that I had been handling for a long time. So I can't exactly give you all the details until I know who you all are exactly.
I mean, technically,
Oh,
technically
no,
we're
of course.
colleagues.
Yes, we are lore speakers at the Magambia, and right over there are all of our students. They are probably very concerned and wondering who you are.
Oh, hello there! And she just like
One of
beams
them,
with this toothy grin at all
A
of them.
couple of them
He
might
goes-
recognize her because
yes,
they've been
the elf
students for
who
so
has
long.
been at the school for 50 years does recognize you.
Oh, hold on, Gremlin.
Kitty gremlin.
Kitty
Oh, I have a
Gremlin
name
just
for
ran
you.
across my screen.
All right. I'm quickly going to get that.
Jumimu is the
Yes.
student who you would recognize.
You are possibly a little disappointed to see them still being a student, considering they've been at this for like 50 years or something.
Oh well, everybody goes at their own pace, I suppose. Can't judge a person by their.
Yeah.
Yes.
Um,
Anyway, the fact of the matter is hello. Hi.
There are
Um,
also two Anadi students, Goss
They are very new, though.
and Savanakin. That may stand out to you, but
Yes. Anadi are not common at the Magambia, but so.
Their friends were eaten by a griffin.
Well, that's very depressing,
It was bad. It was a hard day.
I imagine. Perhaps we might find a place that is more comfortable and suitable. And look, I'm really chomping at the bit to figure out what's inside of our blood right now.
Oh,
Yes,
we
yes,
have a building that we've procured.
Oh,
Well,
good.
I will warn you, this is the Blood Salt Ruins, so it is ruined. But, you know, there's four walls and a roof, mostly, so you should be able to do some work in there.
Well, I mean, yes, probably. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
I'm good to go wherever you all are going, I suppose. I mean, after all, I'm the stranger here.
Endures in Darkness kind of glances up. Uh, will you be joining the other lore speakers in their investigation of the ruin?
Oh, well, well, I suppose I could, if the ruins are in some way associated with my own personal research, then yes, but I would
Yeah.
need to verify that, of course.
And
Well,
knowledge is knowledge.
we found all
Correct.
sorts of accoutrement, sort of pointing to the worship of cloud dragons. So if your cult had anything to do with that, and they clearly were interested in some sort of dragon, they may actually be related.
I mean, there is a definitive possibility. I only know primarily I've been searching for one of the three of the cult gods that they worship, the goddesses. Primarily the one that they deal mostly in poisons and toxins. So my expertise of fields, it's unheard of for that particular goddess. So that's what I've been researching. But there's a definitive possibility that the other two will fall into the category at least.
Possibly. All right, well, let's get you some sort of lab set up, at least as best we can. I don't think we have a whole lot of like vials and things, but maybe we can make do.
I will make do. Yes.
All right.
Right
So,
on.
All right.
how would you guys like to proceed? There are still two sort of things to investigate in the ruins.
Can we get ourselves patched up?
Yes,
First?
you guys can take a full night's rest, and Endures of Darkness has been walking along behind you guys, gently tapping you with his staff and casting various subtle healing spells.
All right.
You guys can get a full night's rest. You can get all your spells back. You can rest up. You can get Charlotte situated. Get them a cot. Scrounge up some vials from the students' packs and stuff. Because they brought supplies and the stuff to do tests and
I mean, I guess there's
Yeah.
really only the one building left, right?
Well, there's the building itself, and then there's also you notice there seems to be kind of interesting stuff around the exterior of it.
All right.
It is a separate section, in fact, the exterior.
All right. Let's do the exterior first, and then the interior, right?
Yes. So just to confirm, we're just going to go right through the evening, the night, and start fresh in the morning.
Well, if we have the whole evening,
Yes.
I might. I would like to chat with Charlotte about what is that book? You have a book, and I don't know what it is. And
Yes,
I just
and
like
I
to
am-
know.
I am keen to test the book. I'd like to do an additional Arcana check, though. That is possible.
Well, before you even do the Arcana check, you unwrap the kind of dragon leather bindings of it, and the book does seem to have a latch. And the latch, where a keyhole would be, seems to have a little depression that almost looks like a fingerprint. Which is mildly specious now that I think about it, because some, I'm not sure if Anandis have fingerprints.
Well, in this form, I do, but
That's fair.
Can I make
Fiddlesticks.
maybe a thievery check? know
You can roll
how
a thievery
one-
check.
Well, maybe as like a knowledge-based thievery check
Yes,
to know like how
that's
one
fine.
would open such a lock.
Yes.
Not necessarily to open it. That's a 30. I should have just fucking opened it. 34.
Well, here's the thing. By studying this and just recalling some stuff you've learned, you know exactly how to open it. But I would not just say it automatically, because you do realize that this is what's called a sacrificial lock. It requires a little bit of blood. That's what the finger thing is for. You put your finger there, something pricks you, and it feeds a little bit on just a tiniest drop of blood, and that'll open the book.
Would I know whether that
cool.
sacrifice on a 34, whether that sacrifice would
bind you in some way to that book, or if it is
You
just
don't
a
think so?
transactional thing.
It's not so much some sort of like big ritual or spell, it's just sort of an arcane mechanism.
Okay.
It's just to kind of weed out the incredibly squeamish.
Gotcha. Well, that won't stop us. Thank goodness. I will relay that to Charlotte.
Ooh. I assumed as much, considering the occultists.
They're pretty culty.
Correct. Well, I mean, I certainly don't mind doing it myself.
Yeah, if you don't want to do it, I will. I want to know what's in that book.
I've evidently I've been waiting 6 years for this.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's a drop of blood here and there?
What's a drop of
I take
blood?
more blood myself, just doing tests.
That's fair.
And I gently, take one of my hands and just dip my main finger into the lock.
You feel like almost like a little flicker, like almost like the tiniest little like whip slash. It's a little sting, and the book quivers a little bit, and then the lock just pops open.
Well,
Oh.
let's just say that once it is open, we shall keep it open for a while. How's that?
Mhm. Maybe we can put some cloth or something over the mechanism just to
Brilliant!
keep it from.
Only known you a couple of hours and I already enjoy you. So smart.
Too. You seem like you have a real zeal for learning things, and that is possibly my favorite quality in a person. So, yeah, I'm excited, and I'm excited to learn some things.
And I just crack open the first cover of the page, the binding of it.
Two things strike you immediately about the book. One, and you probably would have noticed this too if just moving the book around. There seems to be a divide in the book between three sections. The paper the book is divided up into thirds, and the paper in the different sections is a different kind of color and texture. It's subtle, not like blue, red, and green, but it is very obvious that there are different parts of the book. And the other thing you strike on the very first page, there is sort of a somewhat crude, it's like very sharp angled kind of drawings, like the whole all the shapes are made out of triangles sort of three figures in gray robes, and one seems to be holding what appears to be a dagger of some kind. One is holding a little triangle flask, and one is holding a little upside down triangle with two kind of dots on it, denoting a face or a mask.
I am very pleased to say this is precisely what I've been searching for.
Oh, congratulations.
You turn the first page and are immediately you feel your heart drop a little. Writing is not in any language you recognize.
Is it a code or a cipher?
Give me a Arcana check again, I guess. This is
Society.
Or society. Yeah, this would be society.
Well,
Either
it
of you
was
are
Arcana.
able to.
I would like
Maybe.
to.
Oh, shoot. I'm pretty sure Roll20 just rolled a performance check. That's
It
not what I
did.
meant to click.
Let's see.
I'm
Russ.
gonna roll society. There we go.
Putting your heads together, you do realize pretty quickly, because you're both pretty smart, that this is some sort of cipher,
Some sort of cipher.
which is not unexpected for a mystery cult.
Mm-hmm.
I should have expected this. The original details I had learned in my initial research were on code and ciphers. They have to change up the cipher every time, don't they? So
Oh.
frustrating.
That's fascinating.
You do note there is something other than writing on many of the pages, though, as you just sort of flip through the book looking. There are diagrams and kind of illustrations that have annotations in the code, but in the first kind of section, there seemed to be a great emphasis on things in shadow, There, a lot of pictures are of like things blending into the background, or a figure standing in shadow or something stalking something else. In the next section, there seems to be the like application of like liquid to swords or darts or brewing of things with what appears to be symbols that denote like herbs or ingredients of some kind. It's still kind of readable what it is. And then the third section of the book, which has very dark kind of paper, it seems to be diagrams of like where to stab someone in the neck, the place where blood vessels on very different humanoid species are closest to the skin. So it seems to be divided into stealth, poisons, and murder.
Oh.
There also is one diagram at the very start of the last section that doesn't appear as violent as the others, but it seems to be almost like a picture of someone gathering they're like stealing themselves. It seems to be someone in meditation.
Huh. Well, that is interesting. I really do like ciphers. It's like a way that you get to learn things while learning other things. It's a very fun challenge.
It is. Oh, it's so much fun.
When you look at it like that, it's really
Yeah,
exciting.
that middle section seemed the most promising to you, Charlotte.
Yes, I recognize. Do I recognize some of the depictions of the plants and
About half, sort of like,
Okay.
and it's kind of maddening because you're like, ooh, I could almost get this, but I don't know what this stupid circle with extra circles inside of it is. Like, is it a bubble? Is it a berry? The drawings are not very lifelike.
just challenging enough? This is exactly what I've been needing to expand my research.
What are you researching specifically?
Oh, well, my particular field runs towards different poisons and toxins to best affect the bloodstream, the body, to affect different sorts of situations like nerves and all sorts of kind of chemical imbalances between individuals.
Interesting.
Quite.
What is the application for those things besides just, like murder?
Well, I mean, most people don't understand that to acknowledge and know how to cure toxins, you have to know the toxin itself. And most individuals, they don't seem to understand. You just see her arms start like flailing as she explains things. She's like, talking with her hands essentially.
She talks with her hands, but she's got 6 hands.
6 hands. She's like got one that's holding the book open and the other 4 are like gesturing. She's like, the fact of the matter is that toxins can also be used to affect other toxins. Therefore, you can possibly counter affect one very deadly toxin with something that is less deadly, but can affect the blood. It's all in the body.
I think I have heard something about that. I know sometimes if people get bitten, for example, by a very venomous snake, oftentimes catching that snake is imperative to actually curing the person who has been bitten of the effects of the poison. But that's very fascinating.
You've dealt with that a few times.
We've dealt with that a few times.
Well, no, Charlotte has specifically.
Yes, I have had many a snake bite in my times. They are fascinating creatures, aren't they?
They are. They really are. I don't think we have too many snakes at the Macampia, but I'm sure you already know that.
Not anymore.
Charlotte just twiddles all 6 hands.
It's fine, I'll go in the wild, it's whatever. I am, however, very interested in the cult itself and how it deals with these 3 goddesses. It seems like they have darker intentions, but perhaps knowing more about them will give me more understanding about how to counteract or use their methods for more appropriate situations. However, I understand that your particular team has been handling something else, so I mean, after all, this will take me a while to decipher, and I would welcome your help if you would like it, but it's been a very long time since I've, well, been a part of a team even before stint. What I'm saying is I would love to join your little crew.
Oh, I thought that was a given. Yes, of course. Yes, I mean, we're not just gonna leave you out here. Goodness gracious.
Oh, well,
Um,
I would have made my way back to, I assume, the school, but I
it's a
didn't want
bit
to
of a
impose.
ways.
Yes,
Um,
it is, isn't it?
well, I mean, we came out here to do some research on the blood salt. And kind of maybe how that happened, when it's going to happen again.
Ooh.
All that whole bits and bobs, but we've just found those crazy ruins that you were in, so we will probably stick around and see what is in there, because I mean, how can you not, how can you see a whole system of ruins and not just want to stick your little fingers in all the little nooks and crannies and find out all of its secrets? I don't understand how people can just walk past those types of things and not want to take a look.
Oh, absolutely.
But, I mean, maybe they can give us an extension before we have to go back to the school. I'm sure it would be very engaging for all of the students. Assuming we don't run into any more traps that
It's at this
will
time
kill us.
Ophelia kind of like suddenly sits up, got her like night.
Her sleep mask on.
like, she's like, understand the interest in new academic pursuits, but could we please get some sleep?
Oh, I am so sorry. I am
She
so,
flops
so,
back
so
down.
sorry. Oh,
She needs her beauty sleep. At least that's what she told me. I personally don't understand the correlation between sleep and
And yet you're still talking.
I hear you have an interesting anyway, we should go to bed.
Sorry. And essentially what I do exactly what she suggested is as I go to close the book and put in the thing, instead I put like something in between where the lock usually goes and then just take the dragon wrapping and wrap it up instead. So I don't have to poke myself every time.
Yeah,
You do also note that the book itself is also bound in dragon leather.
Which could only be
Good.
a good thing for both of our research. Anyway, I suppose, I should sleep.
Igor just opens the door. Hey, Avi, it's time for your... Oh, have you not gone to bed yet, Avi?
Well, what time is it? We've only been up for a little bit.
Yeah, no, Avi, it's already watch change.
Oh,
Did you not
Talk the
sleep?
night away.
it's okay. I'll just
Avi,
take my shit
Avi,
now.
Avi, you sleep. I got you. I got you.
Well, then when will you sleep?
It's fine. I'll sleep after. And then Igor just like
I
closes
mean-
his door.
I was going to suggest I've been in a series of stasis for about 6 years.
Nah,
and I
y'all-
could take watch.
Y'all rest up. It's fine. I got you. And Igor just goes back to sitting
Right.
outside with Gamma.
And
Okay.
Endures in Darkness takes a shift from you to Gamma or Igor, so you can get some sleep too.
I whisper to Charlotte.
Truthfully, I think Gamma does most of the watching these nights. He doesn't really sleep. So I think Igor kind of naps sometimes.
Also, Igor, give me a quick perception check.
Let's see how bad my perception is tonight.
Ooh.
That's
At one point, after your watch is ended, and it's Gamma, and after you've gone back to bed, it's Gamma and Endures in Darkness out there. You go out, and for a second, you think you catch Gamma taking a sneaky little lick of the top of Endures in Darkness's head.
I'm just gonna
Sarah,
let it be.
for your reference, Endures in Darkness is a walking, talking, large mushroom. So,
And Gamma is a toad, so it's very strange that he's licking things to get high and not the other way around.
I mean, you gotta try new things. But yeah, morning comes around, and you guys can head to the exterior of the remaining building to check that out if you like. You first encounter some block text. This massive circular building has another mosaic running entirely around it. The mosaic depicts a cloudy sky that makes the entire building appear as if it's floating. Writing in a flowing draconic script circles the building and reads, because I now know you can read draconic, defend to the death those who defend us. The building seemingly has resisted the wear and staining of other buildings compared to the rest of Blood Salt. And you wonder at that. You wonder if maybe there's something a little magical going on here. If you like, you can examine the building with a perception check.
Mm-hmm. Ooh,
We
31.
got a
Not
31,
bad.
25. Don't worry about rolling for any of the other people. Well, oh, is Will frozen?
Nope.
No,
I
okay.
was
He
frozen
was just
for a
standing
second.
very still.
I'm just hyper concentrated.
That's okay. Avi Avi and Charlotte, you guys kind of both discover this. Though I guess Avi Avi has to be the one to read it. In amongst the draconic script, beyond just writing, there's actually sort of a list. And it is a list of names hidden amongst the cloud mosaics along with dates. The most recent, with a date that began about 2 centuries ago and has no endpoint, is the name Ixame. And the piece with the mosaic of this is actually sort of almost hanging off on kind of like a stony little thread, practically. It's kind of jutting out of the wall a little bit.
Interesting.
Putting this together with the things, you think this might be a list of like guards or protectors or something.
Huh.
There's a possibility of that being the current god. Is that what you're saying? Of
Maybe.
Avi Avi? I'm sorry,
Avi
Avi Avi?
Avi?
Yes.
Avi Avi.
You do also notice one other thing a little odd as you've been walking around the exterior of this building. Apart from a pair of thin vertical lines, there is no door.
Is there an opening on the roof, maybe?
It does not appear so. This building is still pretty well intact, strangely, so it doesn't look like it has any holes or gaps like the previous one did.
Can I have Gamma and Igara do like a perimeter of the building? Just like taking a look at it.
Sure.
I'll do a Gamma check. Gamma got a 22. And we'll do a Choco check. Choco got a 27. And we'll do an Ophelia check. Ophelia got a 27. And we'll do an Aerith check. Meow, 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 meow. 20.
Circle the building. You don't find any obvious entrances. You do find one of the explosive barrels that you guys remember you found at the mercenary camp here. It looked like they had started to maybe drag. They wanted to drag a bunch over here, but they only got done with one. You do also think that it's possible there is something. There might be like a lock inside these kind of seams that might be pickable with a thievery check, but it might be difficult. You're not sure.
Is there any like hole in the top of the building?
No, it is sealed shut. Also, I should check the vase you guys brought, the bracelet you found, like all the relics you guys have been collecting. Where do you keep them, or is someone carrying them?
Probably back. Well, I guess most of them I can carry in the bag of holding.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you got
So-
the big things are like the vase and I think the bracelet you guys just
and the
picked up.
bracelet and the staff.
Yeah. Well, the staff was given to you, I think. And I don't know if you guys leave that mosaic piece jutting out of the wall.
I think I had just left that where it was. But
Okay.
You said there are two vertical lines?
Let me just read that little bit again. Um, wrong section, sorry. There's no obvious entry to this building, but a pair of thin vertical lines run through the mosaic that indicate the presence of a door. But there's no hinges or handles or latches, nothing to seemingly open the outline.
Okay.
It's like someone took like a tiny knife and went, here would be a door if we had one.
So there's no actual crack in the stonework, then it's just something where someone has chipped away the paint.
There's a little bit of a crack. You think you might be able to do with thievery. There might be some sort of like really well hidden mechanism in there.
I'll try a thievery.
Okay.
That's a 24.
You're feeling around. You think you maybe feel like a mechanism, but you don't gain any advantage on it.
What is stopping me from trying again?
I'll tell you this. I'll just tell you now. I won't tell you the DC is, but I'll tell you this. You need 4 successful checks in a row.
Mm.
This was not really meant to be a thievery thing, unless you're really confident. Although, Avi, I should ask. You have gone up and are examining this?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Uh-oh.
as you sit there trying to figure this out, the bag of holding jiggles a little bit.
Uh-oh.
And it jiggles a little bit again. Nothing else seems to happen, but something seems to be reacting in the bag of holding.
I'm going to step away from the door.
The
Just a
jiggling
little
stops.
bit. Can I open it a little bit to see what was jiggling?
Well, nothing's jiggling now.
I take a little step. I'm like preparing to like cinch the bag closed if anything tries to.
The cloud dragon rune bracelet is moving slightly.
Oh. Okay. If I hold that in my little bat hands and kind of hold it up to the door as some sort of magic key.
Let me just double check here. There is seemingly no reaction for a moment, and then there's the sound of stone grinding on stone. And seemingly on invisible hinges, the doors, quote unquote, kind of move inward. Oh, he's a little fuzzy kitten, little gremlin. And the doorway opens, and I'm going to see if I can delete there's actually a doorway thing for me to delete on this. I don't think.
In dynamic lighting.
Let me
maybe?
check. Oh, wait, there is. Okay. It was just hidden.
Yeah. It is a secret
Okay.
door.
Ooh.
All right.
So I see the thing inside.
Yes. Well, here's the thing. So. All right.
For now, there's no...
Looking inside the room, from what you guys can see in here, it looks to be what was once a gorgeously decorated room. Beautifully decorated, but the walls seem slashed and broken, and whatever beautiful mosaics once decorated this place have been just sundered, what appears to have been in a rage. And you guys can see this thing, right?
Yeah. Can you click on the
I
token to...
cannot. All I'm getting
Oh,
on
I
roll
got
20
you,
is a
sorry.
blank. Yeah.
I got you. I have to...
I haven't been put in yet.
I have to... No, I have to give you vision.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm blind.
You should be able
But
to
Four
now
eyes and I'm
you
blind.
see.
You should be able to see now.
Oh, perfect. There we go.
There you go.
What you see in there appears to be a cloud dragon, but it seems barely alive. It is kind of shriveled. There are bones poking out in places. It doesn't look like undead, but it seems like half dead. And it seems to be kind of curled up in sort of a crescent moon kind of configuration in front of you guys. And it seems to be curled around what appears to be 3 petrified eggs that have cracked and are probably long dead.
Oh.
And as you guys stand here in the open door, taking this sight in, the cloud dragon slowly kind of opens its eyes, and they seem kind of almost like milky and almost half blind. And it just kind of raises its head, like the rest of its body almost doesn't seem to react, and it turns its head slowly, kind of looking at you guys. It looks kind of tired and weary. And it just kind of glances around. It looks confused. It says in a voice that's like just old and sandy and like dry, "Who am I? What is this lair? Am I protector? Poisoner? Killer?" Now, this is an interesting little challenge you guys have here. You have an opportunity to remind this dragon who they are. They are going to, I'm just kind of revealing the mechanics here because it take too long to sort of talk around it. You are going to have to offer them proof of their identity and claims you might make of what this place is. And for every proof you offer, you're going to get to roll on what's called a remind exame thing. And if you get a certain number of successes, something good will happen. If you get a certain number of failures, something bad will happen.
Oh, that's so sad.
All right.
Oh,
Well,
yay. I
let's-
love that for my first session. Woo!
Let's just start going down the list. Bracelet first.
I think the vase actually has a tableau of the cloud dragon being worshipped, does it not?
The bracelet, that's
And
2
the
things.
mural.
I would say that outside that, the script that you saw for the...
You guys want to go grab that mosaic
Yes.
piece real quick?
Yeah, I'll go grab
Yes.
it. Gom will run and grab it.
The defend to the death
That's
those
3
who
things.
defend us. Yes.
Yep.
So that would also be their name.
And can you think of anything else that might recall them as to their purpose?
I assume the eggs themselves.
That's 4 things.
Yeah.
So you guys are going to get, and you know what? This is a deep cut. There is apparently a map you guys got back in book 1.
Oh,
That is a thing.
this map?
Oh man.
Yeah, from area of B6 from Kindled Magic. I'm like, that's really not helpful right now.
Interesting.
But I'm assuming you guys got that. I don't think there was any loot you didn't get.
No, we got it.
So that is going to be, that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You guys essentially are going to have 5 chances of this. And you need to get the good ending. You need 3 successes.
Okay.
Do we know what we're rolling?
Yes. You guys are going to get, you guys have to roll either an Arcana or a Diplomacy check.
Okay. Not bad.
So we're gonna do this slow because the effects can be cumulative or they can adversely affect future ones. So let's run down the list. You want to start with the vase?
Yeah.
All right.
Do we want to have Ophelia do this first check then?
Sure.
Yeah. Ophelia will use the performance for diplomacy feat that she has.
Okay.
Maybe go into an oration of a tale.
That is a success. Not a critical success, but a success. So this sounds worse than it is. They are now stupefied 1.
Yes.
Okay.
Stupefied.
Is there any reason why we couldn't have Ophelia make all of these checks?
No, I there's no thing that says I don't think can't.
Okay. She does have a plus 18 to one of the most important
I know.
checks.
I would say the only thing that I could assist with is give somewhat of an RP for the eggs in the mosaic, I don't know anything else about the other stuff. It's just what the two things I've seen now. But I could assist with that, but
I can assist Ophelia with just performance as well, and I can offer aid for her check. So.
All right. You guys have 5 rolls remaining.
Okay.
4.
So Igor will attempt to aid Ophelia. Igor will not aid.
That's
No,
the aid roll.
That's the aid roll. So Igor did not successfully aid.
Doesn't.
Yeah.
That's fine.
There's going to be tracks to this. I'll tell you when we're doing the actual roll. This is the actual roll for Ophelia.
That is a success.
Yeah, we'll keep that, I guess. Okay.
So that's 2 successes.
Awesome. Igor attempts to aid Ophelia again. I will successfully aid Ophelia. She'll get a +1 to what she rolls. 34.
All right, give me a quick second here.
So that is 3 successes?
Yes, there's a note here about something that has. I just need to remove this. What is this? It's just a weird note. What does that mean? All right, so you guys, you present these items. You speak of as to the role you believe this Ixame once held in better times, and they seem to sort of like become lost in memories and everything. And finally, they kind of just look up into the sky, and you could almost just the expression on their face, if they could, you could imagine that they might let out like a tear or something or cry, but they have no tears left to shed. And then they slowly bring their head back to the ground and give a heavy sigh. And I'll just read this to you because this is kind of funny. Gives a heavy sigh, in brackets, which affects everyone in the room as with her breath weapon. And then she kind of crumbles to dust. So you guys get a little breath weapon at the end.
That was the good ending?
That was the good ending.
Oh.
So you guys are going to get hit with a deflecting cloud, which I'm not actually sure does any damage. No. It would make her harder to hit in combat, but it's not because so her eyes kind of like along with the rest of her body to like the years seem to almost supernaturally catch up with her, and she just kind of shrivels, the skin almost kind of disappears into nothingness, and her eyes roll onto the floor as sky blue gems.
Ooh,
each is a magic item called Ixame's Eye. This is a level 9 item, and I guess that means there's 2 of them. Let's see. Via some strange alchemical reaction within the gases of Turwa Lake, the cloud dragon Ixame's eyeballs have shriveled into sky blue gems. The dragon's sense of vision isn't impaired, and her eyes can't be removed from her head until she's destroyed. Once removed, each gem functions as a special talisman. Ixame's eyes sparkles when it's in an area of mist. Activating the talisman enables you to see clearly through fog or mist for 1 minute. Any creature concealed only by fog or mist is no longer concealed to you. If such a creature was relying on the concealment to hide or sneak, it also means it's no longer hidden or undetected. So you have 2 of those.
Nice. They sell for $150 each.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Igor, have some decorum.
I mean, they did kind of roll across the floor.
Oh.
So yeah, you guys, and that is the last kind of like encounter in Salt. You guys have cleared it enough that now, and we're gonna probably cover this more next time. 3 months are going to pass as you guys do the actual architectural or not architectural, archaeological
dig
and academic work. You guys are going to spend 3 months going between here, occasional visit to the village. You guys are going to actually get to roll on your tracks at the school to gain some knowledge about blood salt and make some actual like academic gains. We're probably going to do that at the very start of the next session because it's going to be a little involved. But yeah, you guys have essentially cleared and made blood salt safe. Apart from the potentially, malevolent snake lady who's just content to live in her little chateau being served by bog mummies. And she's
That's
just like,
neither
I'll
here
just
nor
wait
there.
them out.
That's neither here nor there.
I'll wait them out. I'm immortal. They'll get bored eventually.
May I request one
Certainly.
thing before we finalize and go into that time jump?
Certainly.
I would like to go up to whoever, I'm assuming Avi had pulled out the mosaic, and just say, "May I?" And just like carve the current date after the end date and rehang the mosaic back where it was on the wall.
It's kind of funny. Once you put the piece back, it almost seems to like fit in even more solidly than you would expect it. It seems to slide back in like it was first put into the mosaic.
To honor a guardian.
Agreed.
The final ghost of blood salt put to rest. Until some more bog mummies come up. I don't know.
Who knows?
There are so many bog mummies here, Charlotte. Like, so
Also,
many.
did you guys exercise the sulfur thing? I don't remember.
You didn't. We wanted to make a check, but you said just to move on for now.
Okay.
So we wanted to, but we haven't.
My notes have added bog mummies ? In Charlotte's diary.
You're like, oh yeah, and then you kind of turn. You're just gonna glance to the side, and there's just a bog mummy walking down the street holding like a big stone plate. It's just walking around. You're like,
I'm not even going to ask.
Some of them belong to the snake lady. She kind of uses them as like, I don't want to say servants, because that sounds mean.
Drones.
Well, does she pay them accordingly?
Well, they're not really conscious.
Oh,
I mean, she does send them outside, so you could say they get paid in exposure.
Sunlight? Dun. It's horrible.
I think she's lawful good. What do you want from her? Or neutral evil, I think.
Yes, by the way, there's a snake lady, and she's probably got some sort of venom, but I think I would be very careful about asking her to study it.
I'm actually very curious about that.
Well, most Naga actually don't anyway.
Yes.
They're more kind of spiritual entities rather than actual snakes.
Yeah.
Correct. Yes, I would need an actual snake for the venom of it. I mean, I would know. It's just like, she just points to her own mouth. I would know. Anyway.
Just as a little preview, you guys next episode are going to have access to 2 downtime activities, each of which takes 1 month to complete. The first is practical research in blood salt, and an alternative activity during the month. 1 or more heroes can help with Q2's restoration.
Nice. Question for you, Matt.
Okay.
Yes.
We've just completed a section in this book, I think.
You know what? Actually, that's a good point. Let me just... maybe correct that you guys may get to level up, but it'd be a slight difference between leveling up before these activities or after.
Yep.
You're very close to a level up, but I will check that, and you guys may come next week and the characters will have leveled up. I'm going to double check.
All right.
No, either way.
I was going to ask, but now with the level up thing, I was going to ask if maybe Sarah could do her rolls tonight, because she's not going to be here for the next 2 weeks. Vacation.
Let's go.
Let's see.
I will be the silent observer for most of this. Also, probably reintegrating myself back into a society 6 years past.
We live in a society.
We live in a society.
Well, if you want to do, let's see. Oh, this actually might be up your alley then, because one of them, the research stuff requires stuff more to do with your track at the school. But rebuilding Q2 requires possibly crafting, which might be right up your alley.
I
So.
would be happy to retcon the assistance of that.
Great. So we'll end possibly
for
with
future
a roll.
things.
So if you'd like, you can give me a I'm gonna say a crafting check, just so you can. We started with your rolls, and we're gonna end with your rolls for the night.
Yay.
30. Okay.
30.
That is definitely a success. You gain 1 restoration point. And we will figure out what else the rest of the characters contribute to that next time.
All right. So, everyone, thank you so much for coming up to tonight's episode of The Strength of Thousands AP. Welcome, Sarah, to the cast. We'll see you in 2 weeks after your vacation. Everyone, thank you so much for coming tonight. Don't forget to check out our other shows here on the channel, mainly the League of Amazing Adventurers on Wednesday, as we continue the final level 20 arc of Lightfall. Thank you all so much for coming, and I don't need McKenna to remind me because I reminded myself we're going to go raid PJ. So,
Let's
thank
go raid
you all so much
PJ.
for coming, and we'll see you all on the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye,
Have a good night,
guys.
everyone.
Avi says bye bye.